Good morning. Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, July 12, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. As expected, an arbitration tribunal at the International Court in The Hague in the Netherlands earlier today rejected China's claims to economic rights across vast areas of the South China Sea. This is a ruling that's been claimed as a victory by the Philippines. The court said there was no legal basis for China to claim historic rights to resources within the sea areas in the area. The South China Sea is a resource-rich strategic waterway through which more than $5 trillion a year of world trade is shipped. The ruling also found that Chinese law enforcement patrols had risked colliding with fishing vessels in the area and caused irreparable damage to coral reefs with construction work. China boycotted the case brought by the Philippines and has already rejected the ruling. Chinese President Xi Jinping said that his country will not accept the decision under any circumstances. So more is going to come on this. Undoubtedly, the military tension in the area will be ratcheted up. The American Navy is there in presence. The aircraft carrier task force centered on the nuclear carrier Ronald Reagan is in the area as well. In Italy, near Bari, Italy, at least 20 people were killed and dozens more injured in the head-on collision of two passenger trains that collided on a single track. The crash occurred near the town of Andria in the Puglia region earlier today. Still more details are emerging. The death toll continues to rise. In central and southern China, weeks of torrential rain exacerbated by the arrival of super typhoon Nepartak has now resulted in the deaths of about 173 people, as well as significant agricultural damage and damage to major transportation arteries. The Ministry of Civil Affairs said that the flooding has affected more than 31 million people in 21 provinces and caused about $10 billion in crop damage. The government said that the flooding will boost consumer prices in July and August by about 0.2% to above 2% now total. Flooding has also caused food and product shortages that could materialize nationwide as supplies from transport hubs, which are cut off, continue to ripple across most of the industrialized area of the country. Property Claims Service has designated 27 catastrophic events in the first half of 2016 across the United States and Canada, amounting to insured losses of about $15 billion, mainly coming from the devastating wildfires in Alberta, Canada, and a series of hailstorms and flooding in Texas. In order for PCS to designate an event a catastrophe, it must incur an industry loss of at least $25 million. In the first 6 months of 2016, PCS has designated 27 such events. The main winner here, unfortunately, is the Alberta wildfire, which is the largest Canadian catastrophe event in market history. The China Insurance Regulatory Commission, known as the CIRC, is expected to finalize a list of domestic, systemically important insurers later this year. This is according to the South China Morning Post. The regulator has asked 16 major Chinese insurers, including the People's Insurance Company of China, Ping An, and Anbang Insurance Group, to submit more data as part of the process to identify insurers that are, quote, too big to fail. Those so designated will face tighter capital scrutiny, heavier supervision, and according to the report, will also shine a spotlight on corporate governance of some of China's more aggressive insurers. The South China Post noted that there already is an expectation that a financial super regulator would be set up to oversee the banking, insurance, and securities industries against rising cross-sales and transactions, which is a big problem in China. The situation in Venezuela has continued to get out of hand. We've noted that many Venezuelans are crossing the border to buy food in neighboring countries. Well, earlier today, the government of Venezuela, President Nicolas Maduro, ordered the seizure of a plant that had been just closed by the American company Kimberly-Clark. The consumer products giant announced last week it was suspending operations at the plant because of the country's deteriorating economic condition. Maduro said that the government would supply the raw materials the plant needed to operate and he seized the plant at the request of its 1,200 workers. Fair warning to other American companies that are thinking of closing their plants. As we speak, Prime Minister David Cameron of Britain is holding his last cabinet meeting. Tomorrow he appears at his last questions of the Prime Minister in the House of Commons. And later in the afternoon tomorrow, he leaves 10 Downing Street, and the new British Prime Minister, Theresa May, moves in. Meanwhile, in Dallas, Texas, today, the funeral or memorial service to the murdered 5 police officers occur. President Obama will speak, as will former President George W. Bush. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.